fond of this camera idea after last time. I've also put the camera where it usually sits, rather than having to remake my gaming space. What am I doing? I'm going on multiplayer. That's what I'm doing. Quick match. That'll do. I, of course... Sorry, I'm apparently sat on something. I am, of course, playing Deathwing, primarily because I intended to do so and never got round to it. Just give me quick match. And also because I wanted to ramble about 40k stuff. And how better to ramble about 40k stuff than playing Spacehawk Deathwing, one of the better 40k games. Okay. So, where do I start? Well, I suppose I can work backwards. The latest spectacle. The Space Wolf Codex. This has been a mixed bag, I've got to say. The rumours coming out are some good, some bad, some fucking hilarious. I particularly love the fact that they somehow left the sagas out of the English version. Every other version gets sagas, but they left it out of the English version. No idea how or why. But overall, I kind of like the Space Wolves. I've fallen out with them for quite some time, because when I came into the game in 3rd edition, they were Space Vikings. And they were badass Space Vikings. I mean, they had the Grey Hunters with True Grit, which was a special rule that meant they get +1 attack if you charge them. That's fantastic. I loved that. They could have Bolter and Close Combat Weapon. No, wait, hang on. Sorry, that was counterattack. I don't think that was 3rd edition. I'm getting confused. It's been a while. No, True Grit was that they counted the Bolter as a bolt pistol. So you could have a Bolter and Chainsword, and you get +1 attack, but you didn't get a charge bonus. Or something like that. Anyway, point is, they were badass, and they were the first chapter. At the time, they were the only chapter to have Venerable Dreadnoughts, which was awesome. They could have a Dreadnought as a HQ. Loved it. They could even have a Leman Russ Exterminator, of all things. That's the one with the twin-linked autocannon. Space Wolves are awesome. And then I kind of got... frankly, I got sick of them. I don't understand... Where am I? Here we are. I think I might be going with the guy with the big cannon. Yeah, screw it. So anyway, the point I wanted to make is the Space Wolves used to be badass, and then they went a bit stupid. I understand some people like it when 40k goes absolutely batshit insane. I do see the appeal. I rather like the Orcs for that. I rather like the idea that Wazdaka is trying to build an intergalactic superhighway so we can ride a bike from one end of the cosmos to the other. Totally on board with that. However, that does not mean I want all of 40k to be utterly stupid. And somewhere I wanted a bit more sensible behaviour was Space Marines, the Imperial Guard, the sensible factions, for want of a better term. So, yeah, I've wandered away from the Space Wolves. However, a lot of good things are appearing in this codex. The abilities sound good. I like the fact that they're finally getting Cataphracti and Tartarus Terminator armor. I think that's long overdue. Overall, I like what I've seen of the previews. I certainly like the sagas. I think that's a badass idea. And the Space Wolf ability. My god, the Space Wolf chapter tactic. For those who aren't aware, Space Wolves get +1 to hit on the turn they charge. And on the turn they are charged. And on the turn they perform a heroic intervention. So in other words, the first round of combat, Space Wolves get +1 to hit. That's absolutely fantastic. And it means everything in the Space Wolf list, in the Space Wolf list, is absolutely goddamn terrifying. There is no Space Wolf unit that isn't a combat monster now. Basic Space Wolves, first round of combat, they hit on 2+. Characters. Okay, you might think the characters don't benefit, but of course they benefit, because now you can give them Thunder Hammers, you can give them Power Fists, you can give them weapons which have a -1 to hit, and they're just fine. Why can't I place you? Screw it. So, yeah, they are meaty combat units. But there are downsides to the Space Wolves. I'm not sold on the idea of a Wolfen anymore. I'm really not. I don't like the Wolfen. I'm sorry. I know some people will say that's heresy. You have to like the Wolfen. They're amazing. I am not on board with that. I also think this match is going to be a lost cause. But yes, not sold on the Wolfen Dreadnought. And also, as my little tagline suggests, I'm not impressed with the Primaris either. Not at all. My main issue with the Primaris, with regard to the... Actually, someone in Bolter and Chainsaw summed it up nicely. The problem with Primaris is they are all Ultramarines. You have Ultramarines, green Ultramarines, red Ultramarines, and grey Ultramarines. And that is especially true of the Space Wolves, because, my god, how could you get that wrong? How could you get that wrong? You have, let's see, regular Space Wolves. You have Bloodclaws, Grey Hunters, Longfangs, you have Wolf Priests, Rune Priests, Wolf Guard, the Battle Leaders, the Wolf Lords. You basically don't have a vanilla unit. The only vanilla units you have are your vehicles, your tanks, Rhinos, Razorbacks, whatever. All of the other units are unique. Even if it's just a name change and, a bit more wolfy design on the model, it's a change. And that is completely absent from the Primaris range. They have Intercessors, which look exactly like Ultramarine Intercessors, but they're wearing grey. They have Ultramarine Reavers, Ultramarine Aggressors, Ultramarine Inceptors. They're just Ultramarines. And what pissed me off, irrationally so, was the announcement of, oh, you can have a Primaris Rune Priest, aka a Librarian. Right. Well, I'm just going to completely ignore the gloriously pig-headed argument that there are actually no Psykers in the Space Wolves. They are, in fact, channeling the power of Fenris, and so to call them a Librarian is, in fact, heresy, because they respect the Emperor's wish not to have any Psykers. No Psykers in the Space Wolves, they just somehow harness the power of Fenris to use what looks suspiciously like psychic powers from, well, even from up close, frankly. We're going to ignore that. We're just going to look at the fact that they are out and out saying, it's a Librarian. It's a Primaris Librarian. But when they're in the Space Wolves, we call them Rune Priests. I don't think this game's crashed. That's a good sign. Excellent. Oh well, I've started this video now. I might as well carry on. This just hammers home why I hate the Primaris so much, because there's nothing to them. It's such a dull idea. I mean, when they first came out, fine. As they were first presented, it was good enough at the time. But now, they've had so many opportunities to do something interesting with them, and they haven't. And with the Space Wolves especially, that was egregious. I mean, we've had numerous questions of, well, how do the chapters feel about these fake Marines? Oh, they love them. Unconditionally. 99.9% of people love them. Okay. Well, surely that 0.1% includes the Blood Angels who... Nope, perfectly fine. Well, surely the Dark Angels... Nope, perfectly fine. So, the chapters who were quite notorious for murdering people, for prying too closely into their affairs, are completely fine with robust girly man's pet project just being dumped upon them. Well, surely the chapter who gleefully uses the Codex Astartes' toilet paper will have something to say about this. No. No. The Space Wolves are completely on board with robust Girly-Man's Primaris Marines and use them exactly as the Codex Astartes dictates. What the fuck happened, GW? What the fuck happened there? I mean, this just... I made a video saying that 40k was dead, and that just reinforces it. This is obviously just a... we don't actually care anymore. Kill Team is the future of this hobby. We're not even going to try. Well, you know, that's fine. If that's what they want to do, it's what they want to do. More power to them. But, by God, you could not have fucked up the Primaris more if you tried. So overall, I think the Space Wolf Codex was better than... certainly better than the Space Marine Codex, because every Codex is better than the Space Marine Codex at this point. But there's also a lot of missed opportunity in there. Although I guess I shouldn't be surprised. However, something that really has not disappointed is Rogue Trader. If you have not seen the Rogue Trader teaser, I heartily recommend you go and have a look, because Rogue Trader is the most fun I've ever had with a 40k product while keeping my pants on. The trailer was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It had a proper old school vibe. It felt like someone involved in Borderlands was brought on to make a 40k product. Again, I think I've been touring Bolton Chainsword. I think somebody there compared it to Cowboy Bebop. I wouldn't know. I've never watched it. But it just felt fun. It felt light-hearted. It felt quirky. It was 40k being fun. Not a silly kind of fun, though. I still do not understand what the rules of this mind, so I'm just going to stop trying. It was just light-hearted and gleeful, you know. And strangely enough, it was light-hearted and gleeful while at the same time being about the fact that a ship full of colonists had its Gellerfield turn into a giant demon which started turning the crew into plague zombies, and they crash landed on the planet and are almost certainly going to die there. Frankly, the Rogue Trader's comment of, "I should have asked for more money," that was absolutely 10 out of 10 my thought on the whole thing. That is exactly how a Rogue Trader reacts, you know. Robust Girly Man, Lord Emperor of Mankind, has said, "You are going to go on a colonial mission for me." And her response is, "What are you paid?" I mean, you've got to love it. So, absolutely. Also... oh, I'm dead. Oh well. Also, things like the fact that it's a Kill Team expansion, which means it's almost certainly going to be compatible with Kill Team. I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to being able to pit my Rogue Trader Warband against everyone else in 40k. That sounds fun. Or, indeed, bringing along my Astartes Kill Team and taking on the diseased crew of a ship. Why not? Also, on the subject of Kill Team, there is the Deathwatch expansion. And I think the Drukhari are the ones that are coming with it. They are getting a Deathworld expansion, which sounds great. The Deathworld box and the Drukhari box come with Deathworld terrain. One of the things the Deathworld has is, like the Sector Imperialis or whatever it was called, there's a subplot table you can roll on and get effects. You know, you can see, all terrain, for example, all terrain above ground level is dangerous terrain, or something like that. One of the results for the Deathworld is all terrain that is not impassable is dangerous. So everything is out to kill you. It's like, I'm going to take cover behind that tree. That's dangerous terrain. I'm going to hide behind the Eldar ruin. That's dangerous terrain. I'm going to stand in the open. Nope, that's dangerous terrain as well. Just everything is dangerous terrain. I love that idea. That is Deathworld in a nutshell. I can't help but wonder whether or not the Death Watch will conveniently have some kind of ability that says, yeah, we don't care. We can ignore dangerous terrain for a turn. That would be horribly broken, but it's exactly the kind of thing I'm expecting from Games Workshop. Maybe, if they're being kind, it'll be a universal ability. So, you know, providing you bought the Death Watch kill team and you have that card, your warband can ignore dangerous terrain for a turn. Who knows? But, yeah, I'm on board. I'm not on board with the pricing. That's my only issue. I agree in principle with how Kill Team is being presented. I am completely on board with the idea of buying a £15 box just so that I can buy a new command point for my warband. But like 35, 40, 50, no, way too much. Sorry. I mean, the Death World, that might be an exception because, you know, having Death World terrain would be quite cool. But again, I'm more likely just to buy the complete Death World box, which gets me the two-sided mat and all the trees and all the terrain. More likely to go for that than picking up a specific kill team. And what else have we had? I'm sure there was something... Oh yes, we've had the various rumours and musings concerning Speed Freaks. And we have confirmed that the Orcs have drag races. You know, actually, no, let's just stop the matchmaking for... What have I done? Am I actually in a match? I don't know. I think I may have broken the game. So, yeah, the Orcs have drag races. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I like the idea of Orc drag races. I mean, don't get me wrong. They are nice models from what I've seen. I mean, they're just a mess of, you know, big wheels, lots and lots of engine parts poking out in every direction, and of course, a lot of guns. But I don't know if I like it. It doesn't feel quite right to me. It feels... This might sound strange, it feels too much of a parody of real-world stuff. And Games Workshop have done this before. I mean, the Orcs have a MiG. You know, they've got... The Orcs have a real-world fighter. Which, in every way, in size and shape and weaponry, it's a Russian fighter jet, just with Orc glyphs on it. So, you know, this is not new from Games Workshop, but...
Brothers, you're being sent back to the Aletros in order to complete an urgent extra mission. Bring glory to the chapter.
Can I?
For the Lion.
Good, I can. Okay. I want to change my class. Let's place
the hybrids have sabotaged the Cadius Hand's main engine by attaching explosives to its plasma siphons. The explosives must be deactivated. Failure is not an option.
Speed Freaks, other than that, I don't really know anything about it. I haven't seen much. But, if it is going to be, as rumoured, a remake of Gorka Morka, as some people think, and I've got to admit, you know, a box set, a box game focused around Orcs. Focused around Orcs in vehicles, in fact. That sounds a lot like Gorka Morka to me. And I would be on board with it, because I've had great fun with Gorka Morka. I remember fondly playing Gorka Morka and having a scenario where both warbands piled into their truck, and the trucks slammed into each other, and one warband came out almost unscathed, and another warband got almost annihilated. And that was surprisingly fun. But, yeah. I can see myself getting behind a remake of Gorka Morka. And, you know, if these box games are doing well, which, by all accounts, they are, why not? And, of course, speaking of box games, there was the announcement of the new Warhammer Underworlds. Was it Nightfall? I know this is 40k specifically, but I'm a fucking Shadespire fanboy, so I'm bringing it up. Again, not sure what it is, but it looks like it's going to be based in Warhammer Underworlds. There's going to be probably a box game with 2 factions and then 4 of us following, from what I've seen. I don't remember specifically what the factions are, but there's going to be another faction of Space Marines, because, you know, Shadespire already has 2 Space Marine factions, so naturally you need a third. They also need another Chaos faction, because, you know, again, 2 Chaos factions just isn't enough. It's going to be Nurgle probably, though, so that's good. And I think we might actually get an Elf faction. Oh yeah, the Steampunk Skydwarfs. They are going to be in it as well, which is grand. So that's 4, and I'm not sure what the others are. Well, Undead. Yeah, there we go. No idea what number 6 is. Whether or not this is going to be compatible with Shadespire, nobody's sure. I think I meant to say nobody's certain, but confused along the way. Nobody's certain whether or not this new Underworld product is compatible with Shadespire, but my gut says it is. My gut says it is, because if you don't make it compatible, then you're going to get people who go, well, I just bought all this Shadespire stuff, and now you want me to go and buy a completely new game. That feels a bit rude, a bit cheeky. Whereas if you can mix and match as you like, and, you know, oh, I just want to play, Shadespire, but I want to play it with Steampunk Skydwarfs. You know, that's a lot more flexibility than Games Workshop expected. So yeah, I definitely think Shadespire's going to get an impact. What else have we had on the 40k that's bobbing away in my mind? Oh yeah, Forge Worlds. This is apparently they are actually going to keep making Horus Heresy content, which surprises me. I mean, I follow a couple of Horus Heresy channels, like the Outer Circle, and yeah, one of the complaints they have over and over again is Games Workshop and Forge World fucking them over. You know, it's like, hey, remember how 8 years ago you released the first Horus Heresy rulebook and had all these units, and you still haven't made fucking rules, models rather, for these units? We've been waiting 8 years, it'd be really nice if you made these models. Well, Forge World said, we hear you guys, here's a Blood Angels Contemptor, and a Blood Angels Leviathan. Okay, that's good. I'm sure everybody's thrilled at that. I mean, you know, you don't have Blood Angels torsos anymore, and you don't have most of the armor types anymore. Actually, maybe you do. Maybe you have some of them. I don't think you got Umbra Pattern Bolters anymore. You know, why would anybody want Umbra Pattern Bolters? You know, the bolters used during the Siege of the Emperor's Palace, when the Horus Heresy story is about to reach the Siege of the Emperor's Palace. Now might be a really good time to focus on the Siege of the Emperor's Palace. Nah, probably best. Now is a good time to get rid of all that Mark 6 crap, am I right? Anyway. So yeah, there is actually Horus Heresy stuff coming out. Oops. Did I just seal that rather than opening the door? I've done something incredibly stupid, haven't I? Whoops. It's fine. Yes, we're just gonna have to go this way. But still.
Follow my lead, brothers.
Overall, I'm not really interested in the Horus Heresy stuff anymore. But pretty much the moment they started shit-canning the entire range was the moment I lost any intention of getting into Horus Heresy. You know, it's like, oh, Games Workshop don't want my money. Good to know. But overall, yeah, there's been some interesting... Oh! How could I forget? Sisters of Battle. How could I forget Sisters of Battle were coming out? Oh yeah, because Games Workshop said they're going to keep us updated and, inform us every step of the way about the progress of this much-promised army. And it's like, here's a bolter that looks pretty much like a bolter. Here's a flamer, which it's a flamer that looks kind of like the stuff from Dawn of War Soulstorm. So yeah, we promise we haven't forgotten that sisters exist. I know we didn't include them in Kill Team, but we definitely haven't forgotten that we promised to bring you Sisters of Battle. And, yeah. Good on you. Good on you for not forgetting this faction exists, Games Workshop. I'm almost impressed. But, yeah, there's not really anything else to talk about there. There's not going to be any news on Sisters of Battle for a long time, frankly. Despite Games Workshop's promises to the contrary. And did I forget anything? Was there any major, hilarious events? I don't think so. So I guess I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this match. Why is it so laggy? This is deeply upsetting. Oh, there was one other thing, wasn't there? There was that Tooth and Claw expansion, which I completely forgot about because I don't really care about Tyranids. Sorry for those of you who do. I don't know why you do, but Tyranids do not interest me in the slightest. Did I not break that door down? Oh. What are the rules here? Why is it I can hack some of them and not others? Oh, you're dead. Come back. Oh, somebody brought him back. And why haven't I deployed that yet? Let's go. This game is incredibly laggy and it upsets me. Where am I going? Yeah, I'm not sure what the lost my train of thought. Not sure what the deal is with the new box game is. Well, I say it's a box game. I don't know if I should call it a box game. It's probably going to be along the lines of the Necron / Admech one, which looked really cool, but I never got around to buying, and now I can't even remember its name. I think it might be interesting for the lore. Speaking of, what are they actually going to do with the lore they brought out in that Admech expansion? Because it was all about Blackstone, if I remember correctly. They had discovered that Blackstone might be used to control and possibly seal the Imperium. Seal the warp rift dividing the Imperium. There we go. We'll get through that sentence correctly. But really, nothing's happened there. This is the running theme, isn't it? This brings it back to my complaint about the Primaris. Nothing's happening. It's like, oh, here's a plot point. Okay, what are you doing with that plot point? Here's a plot point. No, hang on, we had a plot point already.
Brothers, follow me.
I'm afraid to check the map. Am I going the right way? I'm not even sure how to check the map. I don't think we're going the right way. Falling back. Okay, we'll go. But yes, we have these wonderful plot points which are being given, and in theory it's going to lead to something interesting, but I mean, how long do we have to wait before something happens? How exactly are they pushing the story forward? I don't know. Are we expected to have to buy every expansion to know what the actual story of the setting is? I really don't know. I mean, I do expect at some point, I mean, there are rumours about Angron and a World Eaters expansion, if not full-blown codex. Maybe that will enhance the plot. I mean, certainly Angron coming back would enhance the plot. But will that be it? If when they release Codex Primaris, will that have new lore in it, explaining what's been going on and how, you know, Robust Girly Man and his Primaris Marines single-handedly sealed the Cicatrix Maledictum and restored the Imperium, and, you know, the Emperor came back to life solely so he could kiss Guilliman's buttocks. Is that going to be the approach that they take? Would not surprise me, if I'm honest. I'm being shot and I've got a short-range weapon. This will not do. Still, I'm not sure how they plan on doing this. It'll be interesting to find out. That's all I'm saying. And are we now?
The situation has been stabilized. Proceed to the next area.
Okay. Now what? Getting distracted by the game I'm playing. That's fine. Oh, but there we go. We're wrapped up. And to be honest, I had kind of run out of content to talk about. I just felt like musing on the things I had seen and heard. Who knows what comes next? Certainly, Rogue Trader, when that pops in September, I'm looking forward to... Okay, it's not important. Looking forward to seeing what happens with that. Rogue Trader is, like with the rest of Kill Team, is just absorbing me. Honestly. Oh god. I have headset hair. How long's that been there? Right, well, I'm obviously going to need to go and find some hair gel to regain my dignity. So, Stabby Brit, signing out. How do I turn this off again?